The focus turning now to the rare earth elements needed for the green revolution. I'm excited to have Christopher Drysdale, CEO of eTech Resources, join us. My good man, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here as well. And, you know, a lot of talk right now is around these rare earth elements because they fall under the 31 critical minerals for Canada. The United States is saying the same thing. Really, a lot of the Western world is looking for these critical elements in a way that arguably they haven't before this. I'd like to start jumping into this, but before we get into your projects and everything that you're doing, for those who may not have heard this before, are still confused, what are rare earth elements?
Yeah, so rare earth elements consist of 15 elements on the periodic table. And actually, contrary to their name, they're actually not rare. They're quite abundant in the Earth's crust. But finding a project or a deposit that is attractive from an economic perspective, but also from a chemistry perspective in terms of extraction and metallurgy, is the problem. And the reason why a geopolitical war has started with the West versus China is China a long time ago realized that they're going to put a lot of money into extracting this. They put money into it, and also they put aside any environmental concerns that's normally associated with extracting it. Mm-hmm. So the bottleneck that the West is currently fighting is actually not the access to projects, it's the processing of rare earths. But there's another bottleneck that the West is fighting, which they're now changing, is finding projects that are amenable to extraction while meeting strong ESG protocols. And that's what we have in eTech.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And what are some of the rare earth elements that you're searching for right now? And then later on, obviously, we're going to dive into that more. But what are they?
So you've got two sets. You've got the heavy rare earths and you've got the light rare earths. We're looking for the light rare earths, and we have a specific focus on neodymium and praseodymium. These two things are used in magnets. Yeah. And they're a high value commodity that is needed in drivetrains, in EV vehicles, needed in the magnets in those big wind turbines. Yeah. They're in cell phones. They're in the way your earpods connect to its case. Yeah. All these things. And what it allows for is a magnet that isn't a heat generation issue, but also has a strong attractiveness to it. So its power that it can create vastly outstrips everything else.
Yes, what you're saying is it's needed a lot in everything that we have.
Correct.
And it keeps growing, because if we want more wind turbines, if we want more EV electric vehicles, we absolutely need these. So my next question is, in terms of supply and demand, are we in a supply crunch? Can you go over that a little bit?
There's no doubt about it. We're in a massive supply crunch. There's been recent news from the likes of Tesla, who have said, supply is never going to meet demand, so they're putting money into R&D to look into alternative drivetrains. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, at this current moment, there's nothing that can compare to a neodymium magnet in a drivetrain. Majority of the supply crunch is driven by the fact that getting data out of China is a bit opaque. Yeah. No one really knows how much is in their storage. But also at the other end of that, Western companies and Western governments are starting to realize we can't rely on them. And we can't be beholden to them to supply the demand that is coming. Yeah. So there's a massive supply crunch coming up, and we're currently in it. Neodymium concentrate prices has almost tripled in value in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. And we expect that's going to continue for some time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that some of your management team, we have had this image up here. Some great. A lot of people need to know who are the people running a company, of course.
So I think we're not just talking as if we didn't just get into a rare earth bubble because the government one day said we've got a problem. We are a bunch of experts who have been working in rare earth for almost our whole professional career. And specifically, I'd like to point to Professor Frances Wall. She's the Professor of Applied Mineralogy at Cranbourne University in the UK. And that's specifically important when assessing rare earth opportunities. And at Eureka, we focused on that. You need simple mineralogy, and you need the ability to extract it.
Yeah. Well, why don't we go into some of your projects that you're focusing on here, because there are several that we're going to be talking about. I know that this is a great representation of the various different projects, and then we'll go into your flagship Eureka project as well.
So this is when the founders of eTech Resources, Ed Loy and Sam Brim-Friendly, who are justifiably some of the foremost known rare earth experts in the world, when they started looking for a rare earth project, what they did is they flipped the exploration model. So instead of developing size and then understanding mineralogy, we approached it by, we are finding the simplest project mineralogy so that we can extract it. Can we extract a product that the West will buy from us?
Yeah.
And we came up with we all at school, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. We came up with the simple project. We've got simple mineralogy with a high basket value that we can extract and create a product. We have simple operations. We're not in the middle of nowhere where we won't be able to get there. And because we've already de-risked our mineralogy, we have a simple flow sheet for extraction. And then we're located in arguably the best mining jurisdiction in Africa, who has been desensitized to radiation. Rare earth elements are associated with thorium and have a slight radioactive signature. 25 kilometers down the road from our project are two of the world's premier uranium mines, and we are 180 kilometers away from one of the world's deep sea ports that can handle radioactive material. So we not only have a simple project that with simple mineralogy that we can extract, our cost to extraction is going to be a lot lower than other rare earth opportunities, and we're in a jurisdiction that understands the speciality of the commodity we're dealing with. With established infrastructure, access to deep sea ports, and water, that allows us to fast track this project into taking advantage of the supply gap that's currently here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know here is a little bit more of a representation of your flagship Eureka project. If you don't mind just diving into that really quickly.
So I think, firstly, the thing is, Namibia is rated the best mining jurisdiction in Africa. And they have a long history of allowing mines to operate freely and independently with a clear and transparent mining code. So that's first. Namibia is a fantastic jurisdiction. But secondly, its infrastructure. It's been voted for the last 5 years to have the best infrastructure in Africa.
Wow.
We have access to road and railway and deep sea ports, power and water. And then we don't have snowstorms in Namibia. That doesn't happen. And the topography and in an area that is extremely sparsely populated, it allows us to stick to our strict ESG protocols by not affecting local environments and local communities too onerously. And that it's unbelievable. I always joke with our investors here on Bay Street. I say to them, the road from the airport to Toronto is worse than the road from the Namibian airport to our site.
Yeah.
And that's a fantastic thing for Namibia.
Absolutely. Well, we've gone through some of your management team. We've gone through why rare earths. We've gone through some of your projects, but a question that I'd like to ask to finish this off here is, what should investors be excited about coming down the pipeline from your company?
So we announced last year in Q4 the start of our drilling program that's currently ongoing. We identified 17 similar anomalies that presented exactly the same as the current Eureka footprint, which we know is already de-risked. So we're currently drilling that, and we expect to have news starting to come out during the later end of March this year. And then we've also got growth opportunities and moving forward with partners into potential extraction opportunities that the company is currently working on, and we expect to develop during the latter half of this year. I think if you move one back on here, one more, sorry. I'd like to focus on, we currently have 310,000 tons at 4% TREO. That's all within that small footprint there. We are the first company to explore, and we've identified 17 other areas that are presenting exactly the same. that have never been explored there. This is the first time a drill is moving and drilling there. And I like to tell our guys, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it potentially could be a duck. So let's drill it and see how it goes from there.
Well, fantastic. And I appreciate all that breakdown this company as well. Really quickly, if people are looking for more information from your company, where can they turn?
Yeah, please go onto our website, etechresources.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter there, and then the management team and us will always do a quarterly update to keep the investors up to date with what we've done during that quarter.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Christopher, for your time. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your PDAC as well.
Thank you very much.